Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. If you can't tell by the title, this is going to be a review video of the new Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation. This has been out for a hot minute, and if you aren't following my vlogging channel, it's linked down below, but I went on the hunt for this, like searched high and low. When I heard it was released, I literally checked all of the drugstores in my town and the next town over. Nothing. Nada. Even when I went down to a vacation in North Carolina, I checked there. Nothing. Then I was wandering around Target the other day and magic. There it was. Found it. So I picked it up. This is the lightest shade that they have. Brace yourself. 705 Ivory. I'm gonna hold it up next to my bare skin for you. It's probably gonna be a little dark. I don't even care. I've heard that it might oxidize, but I heard that people love the formula. I really wanted to try it, so I picked it up and I'm gonna try it for you guys here. Hence the bare face right now. So my hair's a little crazy today. It's a little stormy out. I just heard a little bit of thunder, so if you guys catch on with that, don't mind it. It's Mother Nature. I can't control her. So let's jump right into testing this. This is a great glass bottle, but per what everyone else has said, I agree, the lid feels really cheap, and this gold bit, it's almost like brass little detail on the pump itself. I don't know, I like the glass bottle. It's thick, it is really thick. You get less product than you think because it's so thick, but that's fine. It is 1 fluid ounce, so very standard. It claims to have some vitamins. It's got broad spectrum SPF 20. It's supposed to be lightweight, full coverage. It's supposed to be hydrating, have antioxidants, and it's oil-free, according to what I can read on here. The pump has a fancy little on-off little switch. There's a little indicator on the side. So we are going to go in and see if we can get one pump. Maybe two. There we go. That's a full. We got like 1.5 on there. This does have a pretty heavy perfume to it. Most people can't put their finger on it, but literally the first thing that I think of is those Neutrogena makeup removing wipes that everybody loves in the light blue packaging. To me, this smells exactly like those. So if you don't like that smell, if it's not your cup of tea, this is pretty heavily scented, you're not gonna like that. So I don't have any kind of like mirror or monitor I can look at, so I've brought my trusty Tartelette palette so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to take some of this and just put little dots everywhere. Just even feeling it like this, it feels really smooth, really, really nice. We are definitely gonna put some down here. You can see I've got some redness, some discoloration, but nothing too crazy. I'm gonna go in with this nice little rounded brush here. It is the e.l.f. Foundation Blurring Brush. It has been my favorite foundation brush lately. So, here goes nothing. So I don't know if I would say that this is full coverage because I am still seeing everything. It's blending amazingly, and it's definitely just kind of like going into my skin really easily and blending with my skin nicely. I don't have any sort of a primer on. I just moisturized like a while ago, so my face is prepped, but I decided not to go in with a primer because I don't really usually wear a primer. So I figured I would just test it and wear it how I normally would. We're definitely gonna bring this down because, like I said, I've heard that it oxidizes like crazy, which is no bueno. We're just gonna move this out of the way. Make sure that we're all super blended. All right, there's one layer immediately applied. I think it's sitting well on my skin. It's hard to tell with the clouds outside. I'm just using a couple of different lights in here, but so far, it seems really nice. It seems like my skin still. I'm gonna put a little bit more under my eyes just to see if I can get a little bit more coverage under there. And I'm actually gonna go in with my beauty blender for that. So let's just take literally like Okay, well I can't really get a drop out. I only wanted a drop. That didn't work. Let me just kind of put this under there. All right, we're gonna let this sit for just a hot second. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's 2:07 according to my little phone here. I'm gonna let it sit for about a minute, see how it settles in naturally, and then I'm gonna set it with some setting powder. Okay, it's been almost exactly a minute, and it is pretty tacky. Like, there's a sound. You can't hear it, but on your own face, it is very tacky. It's settling in a little bit under my eyes right now. So yeah, we're gonna definitely set this. Okay, it's currently 2:11. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm gonna go finish the rest of the makeup and I'll be right back to check in. All right, I am back. It is now 2:30, if you guys can read that. We're in full storm mode. So if I jump and there's a really loud noise, it's the thunder. It's super loud. But anyway, I've finished up my makeup now. Everything has been set, you know, for at least 10 minutes now, 20 minutes now, at least 20 minutes now. And let's take a look. So it definitely has darkened a little bit. You know, you can tell I put on like a little bit of bronzer, a little bit of highlight, blush, did my eyes. And I would say you can tell there's a difference between my face and my neck for sure. But it's not so drastic that I'm overly offended. Like, it's not like here to here. And it is a little tacky. I didn't super set it when I set it, so there is still a little bit of tack happening, but the finish I really like. It looks like my skin. Really, really like that. I can't really smell it. It's like the scent is sort of just dissipated. It's not really around. Even if I kind of try and fan it, I don't smell it at all. So I guess the scent is not going to be an issue. It definitely fades. Yeah, so like I said, it's 2:30 now. Absolutely pouring outside. I was gonna do a workout outside. Don't think that's gonna happen anymore, but I might still fit in a workout today. Hanging around the house. I know it's kind of later in the day, but yes. So I'm gonna continue on, check back in with you guys periodically throughout the day, keep you guys updated on how this wears and what my thoughts are. Just gonna give you guys a close-up of my skin in natural light. So the sun's kind of coming out now a little bit, but I just wanted you guys to see up close what it looks like. Yeah. It is 5:19, if you guys can see that. So it's been about 3 hours since I first applied this, and after sweating, I went for a walk outside and I did a little bit of filming for another video. So if you've noticed that my makeup has changed up a little bit, that is why. So it's still the same day, I promise. So let's take a look at how it is holding up. I think that it's holding up really, really nicely. It still looks like my skin. It doesn't feel heavy at all. It is like a touch tacky, but again, I didn't super set it, and I've been sweating, and it's humid today. Other than the color, which definitely oxidized, I can kind of tell along my hairline and difference between like this part of my ear and then going on. That's kind of where I can tell. And other than the little bit of shine going on my forehead, because I'm still sweating a little bit from my workout, I would say this is holding up super well. It's worn out just a little bit around my nose and on my chin. I itch my nose a lot and tend to rest my hand on my chin, which I know is not good, but it maybe is worn off a little bit in those places. But other than that, it seems to be holding up really, really well. But yeah, I'm gonna check back in at the end of the night, so we'll see how things go. So here's another look at my skin in natural light. You can see a little bit of my scars. I didn't really cover them up super well in the first place, but overall, I think everything still looks pretty good. The color difference is a little bit noticeable, but like I said, it's nothing major. Alright, so I'm back for my final check-in. It has been 5 hours since I last checked in and a total of 8 hours since putting on the foundation. It's pretty late at night. Right now, it is 10:20 at night, so let's take a look. I would say I definitely still have that glow. It's for sure worn off of my chin and on and around my nose because those are the places that I touch the most. But as far as on my face, like everything still looks good. I don't think anything looks overly patchy, maybe a little bit around my mouth where I was eating and some chapstick that I wear. It's kind of worn it off, but all in all, it's not caked around my nose like it usually is or under my eyes. Sometimes it settles in between my eyebrows here. But as far as that goes, I would say this still looks really good. So I don't have any more daylight because it's so late at night, but I figured I would still show you guys a close-up of my skin, at least in what lighting that I do have. So I would say a lot of my scarring is very visible down here on my chin, like I said, around my nose, around my mouth, but my forehead I think looks decent, and like in general, my cheeks look pretty good. If I used a primer, set it better, used a setting spray, I'm sure that would help this last longer than it did. But for an 8-hour wear, for an 8-hour day, I would say at the end of it, you would still be looking pretty good, unless you're like me and you rub your nose a lot, like even right now, it itches. I did notice a little bit of rub off, so it does transfer a little bit if you're concerned about that. But for the price point, I got mine for $9.99 at Target, which really isn't that bad. For a drugstore, it's like to the mid-high range, but it's nowhere near any of the more expensive foundations. I wish that this came in a better color range. Everything is a little bit on the warm side and definitely too dark. It oxidizes, makes everything darker, and it's kind of hard to lighten a foundation. Easier to kind of fake darker with bronzer, harder to lighten. But other than that, it's super comfortable. It wears pretty well. It feels really nice and light on the skin. Although it is heavily scented, you don't really notice it. It fades, so it's not really an issue. Overall, I would give this like an 8.5 or a 9 out of 10 if I had to rate it on a scale. So that's all that I have for this video. I hope it helped you guys out, especially if any of you are paler like I am and a little bit cooler toned like I am as well, just to see it on a different skin type, because all of the reviews that I tend to watch, they tend to be on warmer skin tones, and that's not super helpful for me. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.